Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have a very exciting video for you guys. Today I will be driving a 2018 Porsche 911.2 GT3. This is my friend's car and he does have a YouTube channel, so I'll link it in the description down below if you're interested in learning about e-commerce. I'm here at one of my favorite locations. This place has great scenery, lots of curvy roads and elevation changes. Last time I was here was in a Nissan GT-R, so I'm sure this car will shine here as well. This GT3 is completely stock for the exception of the GMG bypass exhaust that I installed, and the sound does remind me a lot of the GT3 I drove a while back, and for good reason, because this year GT3 comes in the 4-liter. But enough talking, let's get driving. Okay, so here we go. Since this car is pretty loud, I'm going to leave the valves off for now while I'm talking, so you guys can hear me. So one thing I do have to say is I love the way this car is spec'd out. Let's start with the color. It's chalk, love it. Carbon ceramics with the yellow calipers, love it. The carbon bucket seats with the gray stripe, love it. The Alcantara steering wheel, love it. Chronos package, love it. Yellow seatbelts, love it. And one thing that's not part of the spec is the GMG aftermarket exhaust, love it. So now it's time for a drive, so I can talk about my experience. So as far as acceleration, this does have quite a bit of pickup. I do feel the low end torque in this car. That's one thing that the GT3 RS that I drove was lacking, but I did drive that car up in the mountains, so it was at a way higher elevation, so I think that probably did affect the car's performance. But not here in this one. It definitely has good pickup, which is a lot of fun. As far as braking, I would say that it does take some time for it to brake. They're not as sharp as the GT350, but the brakes are nonetheless really good. And in regards to mechanical grip, the way this car handles on turns is phenomenal. It just makes you feel really confident, and that's one thing that I do remember when I drove the GT3 RS. So I'm remembering that feeling once again. It just really feels very planted and it hugs the corners so well. As far as body roll, it's pretty much non-existent in this car. Like, the steering wheel response is pretty good. I love how that feels. It doesn't feel floaty at all. So now I'm just making a U-turn to go back again. As far as exit speed, it's there. It really does have some good exit speed, which is good. It's fun here, but I can just imagine at the track, this car would be a monster and would be ahead of a lot of cars just by the way it handles, it hugs the corners, and the exit speed, which is really important. The confidence this car makes you feel, it's just very smooth. Love this. This car is definitely about the brakes, but there's not any brake dive that I can notice. It does keep the car well balanced when you go into corners, which is very good. Alright, so I'm making another U-turn. Alright guys, so now it's time to let the car do the talking. So I'm going to put it in PDK Sport, suspension, and Sport exhaust. Alright, let's go. That was fun. So before driving this car, my favorite car that I have ever driven was a 2016 991.1 GT3 RS. I remember just getting in that car and feeling so confident while driving it. But this car makes you feel even more confident, and it just feels way better all around. I have to say that this is now my favorite car I've ever driven up to date. I wish I could have done a launch, but there were no straightaways in this location, and the place where I did a launch in the GTR last time was under construction, so unfortunately not this time. But after driving this car, there's no point in racing it against the GT350. However, I do feel that the GTR will be a better match against the GT3. So yes, there will be a race between these two cars. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.